Hi, my name is Kristen Campbell and my material study is on lacquer. So what is lacquer? Lacquer is a clear or colored resin that is put on an object to give it a very hard and durable finish that is both beautiful and very resistant to damage. Lacquer can be put on a wide variety of materials and can range from matte to high gloss finishes. So the next three lacquers I'm going to be talking to you about will help you in time period pieces of art. The first is urushiol lacquer. It is a slow-drying lacquer, and its active ingredient, is derived from the lacquer tree, which is indigenous to China. This was the first lacquer ever invented, and after sophisticated lacquer techniques were developed, it became a highly artistic craft and was then spread from China to all over Asia. So this is an example of how powdered cinnabar can be mixed with lacquer to produce the traditional red lacquerware that you see from China. And this is an example of how lacquer can also be tinted with iron oxides to give it this black color. Also, lacquer engraving is a traditional craft exclusive to China. The lacquer is laid on until it is at least a centimeter thick, and is then engraved to form various patterns. Next is nitrocellulose lacquer. This was the first quick-drying lacquer that was invented, and since it dries so quickly, you have to apply it by using a spray gun. It was developed in 1921 and then used in the automobile industry because of how easily you can apply it, how quickly it dries, and how it retains color. So the photo on the left is a picture of the average car before nitrocellulose lacquer was invented. Japan Black was the fastest drying lacquer, so it was the most popular. But once nitrocellulose lacquer was invented, cars could now be made in different colors, and the first one was this bright blue color. And here are photos of other characteristics of nitrocellulose lacquer. As it ages, it tends to yellow and can also shrink to the point of causing cracks to form in the surface. And the last one is acrylic lacquer. This is a fast-drying, colorless, and completely transparent lacquer. It was developed in the 1950s and is currently the most common kind of lacquer. And it was invented because they wanted to avoid the yellowing problems of nitrocellulose lacquer, and also it is more flexible, so it won't become brittle over time. And these are examples of the different objects acrylic lacquer can be put on, ranging in material, shine, and style. And next I'm going to briefly cover my model sheets. So the first row number 1, are examples of a cube, cylinder, and sphere that are not lacquered at all. Row 2 are a cube, cylinder, and sphere that are covered in lacquer with low gloss, and row 3 has high gloss on it. So for this model sheet, I'm mainly talking about how light bounces off the surface and how it looks. And in this model sheet, I'm talking about how light bounces off surfaces and bounces onto the lacquered object, and how this affects the value and the local color of the lacquer. So that's what I'm talking about in photos 1 through 4, and then photos 5 through 7 are examples of how the logic above it applies to the average lacquered object. So that is all for my presentation on lacquer. I hope this helps you draw lacquered things more accurately in the future. Thank you.